again, just like when we were listening to Carol, I was thinking, that we would transport it someplace else. Like this really, and not that I don't love Fort Wayne, but just like this wasn't really Fort Wayne. Like we were someplace, and we were at a maybe little club or a place, and there you were doing your spoken word and being the Miss Poetic Diva. Thank you. We admire you and everything that you said. I could feel it running all the way through me, Tanika. Let's give her another hand. Well, here we go. Let me finish up here. After this, we'll be having an open mic. Okay, so if anyone is interested in coming up and spitting a little word of poetry and stuff like that, please feel free to come up and do some of your work. So if you want to sing, come up and sing, whatever you want to do, it's open mic, okay, after this. Are we having a break after this? Or do I have to?
No, we're going straight.
No break. Okay. This says Jota Drum Circle Wednesday, 6 to 7:30. They have 5 adult scholarships available. So if you are interested in playing the drum, have never played the drum, but have seen people playing the drum, you can feel it inside of you. This is an opportunity for you to get to experience it with 3 free sessions. The first 5 people who return this form will receive 3 free sessions between 11/16 and 12/8 of this year. First 5 by 11/16, and so you can email this completed form. It's an email out there, triacxed@comcast.net, but I'll leave it out there so that you can see. It's online too. So it's at triac.org, triaac.org. Okay. One more thing here, November, if you've never seen TRJE, which is the Three Rivers Djembe Ensemble, it's a group of kids ages 13 to 18. They are dynamic. They will be at a couple different places coming up here. November 16th at Grace College. November 17th, listen to hear for it and look for posters. At IPFW Wall Union at 7 p.m. And they're going to be December 3rd at the Friendly Fox Coffee Shop. Wow, okay. So look around to here. They also do bookings. There's a number here, 260-969-9442, or hit the blog at triac.org, okay? And one more thing, and I am done, and then it will be open mic. December the 10th, our next coffee house. If you enjoyed this, you need to come back and check us out again. That's why we are really working hard, to keep our doors open so that we can, again, like I say, give you this kind of local entertainment. These people aren't from Chicago. Oh, well, maybe they are. They might be from Chicago, New York, and different places, but they're here. They're here, and this is an opportunity for you to get to come and enjoy them. And I don't care what you say. I know you enjoyed it tonight. I loved it. It was wonderful. And we want to keep doing that and bring all the different artists that are here so that you can get to check them out and know when they're playing and go and hear them. So the next time is December the 10th. And our guest speaker, right, she's a poetry poet?
She is a songwriter.
Songstress. December 10th, which will be a Saturday, just like this. Megan King at our next coffee house. An open mic and drum circle. And so, get a chance to come and put your hands on the drum and see how that feels. What I think about in The Lion King, if you ever seen The Lion King, I think it was Whoopi Goldberg, she was the hyena, she said, say his name. He said, Mustafa, oh, she said, oh, Mustafa. It's like, yeah. So if you ever get a chance to put your hands on the drums, you will see that's how it feels. It goes all the way through you. So December 10th, Megan King, an open mic and drum circle, and now on with the open mic, right?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone interested, anybody, just go on up there, it's okay.
Come on now. Don't be shy. Terry, you coming up? Are there no takers? Don't duck out so soon, doctor.
Can I make an announcement?
Yes.
I don't know how many people know this, but there's a
Come on up, Emmanuel.
There's a film at the Cinema Center that people might be interested in. It's called Black Power Mixtape, 1967 to 1975, and we happened to catch it last night. It's an interesting film. It's sort of a span of those 8 or 9 years as recorded by I think it's a Swedish film crew. And it's kind of a broad scope of the Black Power movement of the tail end of the 60s, which in my opinion goes to 1975. But it was an interesting film, and there's a lot of commentary by, I think it was released last year, so there's a lot of commentary by artists, musical artists, literary artists, academics and stuff who are sort of more contemporarily doing their thing. But it's at the Cinema Center tomorrow, the Indiana Tech Cinema Center tomorrow at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and I believe Monday at 6:30 and 8:30. And I don't know that it's showing after that. So if you if that's your thing, anybody from Stokely Carmichael to Louis Farrakhan to Angela Davis, Sonia Sanchez, they're all in this film, and it's an interesting film, and I had my criticisms of it, but it's certainly one worth catching.
What's the name of it?
Black Power Mixtape, 1967 to 1975. It's on the website cinemacenter.org. If you can't remember your times.
I'm not going to speak. I'm just going to talk for a minute.
Come on now.
No, I can't. I can no poetry tonight.
Come on now.
Not after Tanika Burke. Never do that to me. Appreciate you, Tanika.
Thank you. I appreciate
Really appreciate
the offer.
Appreciate your flow. And Carol, you the diva girl. You the stuff. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to stop and pause for half a second to say that TRIAC, through its Institute of African Art and Culture, is here to reinvigorate a spirit of community and neighborhood and family. That's what we're about. We're doing that through an African and African American lens. If you were here for the first set and you heard Carol, you also heard Fefe. Fefe is a Senegalese man who's been in the States for how long, Fefe? 12 years? 21. 21. 12 batches. I had it right. Just back. What you heard was a syncretism, the coming together of some deep African American roots and some deep African roots, and the blending of those two rhythmic forces. That's what this is about. That's what we're about here. If you listen deeply to Miss Burt's poetry, not just the words to interpret what the meaning was, but if you listen to the rhythm of the words, you can hear Africa in her speech. You can hear it in her patterns. You can hear it in her expression. We need to bring Africa back. Tanika's words, her poetry spoke about things that are very real today. You know, about credit, about not being able to pay bills, about hardships with loved ones, about real life, not about politics. politicians, the law, government, about real life, where we really live. That's what this is about here. And where we really live right now is threatened. It's threatened because the bottom line is always present in America. Now, if you go to Guinea, you can go to any compound and hear music. And you ain't got to pay. And you can get up and dance, and your spirit will be renewed, be revived, and you don't have to pay. If you go to Senegal, somebody will wrap you in their arms and take you in and make you feel at home. That's where we come from. When I was growing up in the 50s, I had that same feeling in New York, not in Mississippi or Alabama or Georgia or the Deep South. In New York. It was about family. It was about those Italian folks who lived next door and would feed me when I was hungry. It was about the English boy up the street who I played with. It was about those black folks whose beds I shared and whose tables I shared. It's about community. And when I made friends when I came here, people told me about Westfield and this very red light district where we are at now. And how it used to hum as community. But now, we all done marched off to a different drummer because we think we free. We just gone. We done lost our mind. And so Triac is about bringing our collective spirit back home to roost. Giving us a place to be somebody. To be safe, to be secure, to be family, to support one another. That's what Triac is about. And yes, for 8 years, we reached out to the foundations with the Three Rivers Djembe Ensemble. And the foundations here, the people in this city who run things, were generous. They gave us $750,000 to run this. But that's not where we need to be. See, I'm old school. I'm from the 60s. I grew up when we was talking about revolution. And we wasn't playing. We was talking about revolution. The real kind. The kind that overturns systems. But we understood that the system that was needed to be overturned began here and here. That slave name that I had to be overturned. And a new person had to be born. And so that happened with me and thousands of others. And the spirit infected and infested black people and white people here. And America became something different than it was during the Eisenhower years and the Truman years. It became something different, something infused with an usness. America been riding our music ever since we got here. Been riding the rhythm of our music and our words. Triac is about reclaiming that identity and owning it. We can't own it if the foundations are funding it. We can't own it. They call the shots. We gotta own this place. We need to buy this place. Not for me. I'm 67 years old. I'm ready to leave. I'm talking about a succession plan. About leaving a place for young people to be somebody, where they don't have to feel threatened, cajoled, bullied. What's it take to do that? It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of energy, and a little bit of money. It talks about commitment. Being committed to being black in America. It talks about understanding what it means to be an African in America. You're not an African in America if your identity has been co-opted. You have to own yourself. What Tanika said, you got to own yourself in all your badness and your goodness. You got to teach your children to own themselves in their badness and their goodness. You have to define yourself in your badness and your goodness. And you have to turn your badness and your goodness into non-judgmental life. Non-judgmental. We don't need to judge ourselves with somebody else's mind or somebody else's eyes. We need to see ourselves through our own life and our own history. So TRIAC exists to give us the space to do that. And to stay afloat, because we can make it to January. I think we can make it to January. We can make it to January, but hell, it's cold in January. We got to turn the heat up. The bills is going to go up $150, $200. We paying $2,000 a month to be here. We've been doing it for 3 years on our own dime. So we need you to step up to the plate. Tell your friends. I mean, I'm buoyed because there's faces here that I have not seen in here ever. And it makes me say, well, maybe we finally doing something right. We don't have all the answers. And this is not for me. This is not this, I repeat. I repeat and I repeat. You hear repeat? This is not a K2 thing. This is not mine. This is yours. This work is about you. And it's about your children. And it's about your identity. Here in this city, we're here, downtown. Not out in the suburbs. Not out on the south side, the north side, the east side, or the west side. We are downtown. The life of a city is in its downtown. The arts in this city are being revitalized. Arts United is doing an incredible job of revitalizing the arts in this city. We are downtown for a reason. It's not random that we're in this building. We need to stay here. We need to own the building. We need to purchase more property in our collective name. Not in any one person's name, in our collective name. You can call it TRIAC. You can dump the name, get a new one. I don't care. It ain't mine. I just want to, before they put dirt in my face, I want to be able to say that we built an institution that the people own. That's what's important. Without an institution that belongs to the people are slaves. So tell your people, tell your friends, reach in your pocket and pull out that dollar that you was going to spend on a Coke or a pack of cigarettes or whatever. And put it in the drum. I'm from the 50s and the 60s. When we wanted something in New York, we didn't ask nobody. We took it. Shit. We took it. Found straight out, took it. I'm 67 now. I can't run around doing. I can't run as fast as I used to. So now we have to take it in a different way. We have to take back our minds. There's an exhibit here, Kente, down at the museum. Kente having to do with the Ashanti people of West Africa, of Ghana. A brother came in from Michigan State last night and spoke about the history and the social development of our understanding of Kente. We need to bring folks like that into the community so that they can impart their knowledge to you. We do that. We had a 9-day residency here of an African artist. He was in the community and taught for 9 days. Visiting artist residencies, teaching children, giving adults space to be. That's what we're about. So, I'm going to stop preaching now.
All right.
Thank you. And I just want to thank our guest host this evening, my lovely wife, Lydia.
All right.
And come on out on December 10th. Megan King is the bomb, y'all. She appeared here in early in 2010, I think it was, with George Calamaris. Megan, you can't get out that door, Dave.
You got the trap here. You got the trap.
You had to jump off the balcony.
Hey, I'm gonna check you out.
All right, man.
Can they get out that one? You ain't get out that one? Can they get out that one?
Yeah, you can get out that way. Turn the light on. There you go. I don't want nobody falling down the steps. We got insurance, but I don't need to. So thank you. Come on out on December 10th, and peace and blessings to you and your families. Yes, come on up, sister.
Thank you, kindly.
Come on up.
Hello. My name is Marithia Henry, and I'm an officer at the Allen County Jail. And I always starve. I am starving for culture. I mean, seriously starving for culture. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, born in Tacoma, Washington, and I reside in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was explaining to a couple of folks that I had lost my poetry book, and I'm really kind of sad because I couldn't find it. Looked at 2 drawers, 5, 6 boxes, couldn't find it. But my daughter inspired me. She said, "Mama, you always come up with these quotes, and they're original. So I'm just going to give you all a couple." My first quote that's very dear to me is, "The truth hurts, but lies condemn."
Okay.
My second quote is, "If you can't impress me standing up, you surely cannot impress me laying down." And while I was at work last night thinking about coming here tonight, I came up with this one. It says, "They say that a good man or a woman is hard to find. That's because one refuses to look within oneself and search for that man or woman in which they seek."
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyone else? Will there be others? Will there be others?
No, I have something to say, but it's probably in French, so I don't know.
Oh, you understand. Oh, you don't know if we understand it or not.
If you understand, but I can give you a little translation before I get started. It's oh, she's gone. She left her city here, right? Tamika. It's a Senegalese. I'm from Senegal, West Africa. This is where I'm from, in the Atlantic coast, on the western part of Africa. And it's Senegal is the French protectorate. We're colonized by French people. So a lot of us, when we go study in France. Speak some oui, vraiment, oui. And some of us Senegalese were born in France, and there was one particular one called David. I mean, the name in English is David Dio, but it's David Diop in the proper pronunciation. And he was born from a Senegalese father and French lady, French mom. He was longing, and because the officer Ken was that's a perfect occasion, he was longing for his culture. Very much longing, so he decided at the age of 22 plus, 24 plus, to fly for the first time in Senegal and discover what Senegal was about. He has never been there, ever. He was born in France, raised in France, wanted to discover his country. Unfortunately, en route, his plane goes down, and he passed, never getting to make it to the continent of Africa. But he was a poet, writing poetry, and there's one poetry he wrote called Africa. And that's what I'm trying to portray here. And I'm going to translate it. What he say, not Africa, he said, "You are my Africa. I've never seen you. I'm longing to know you." Is that you, Africa, with all those children with back that are bending under humidity, on the back that are slashed with whip? Is it that Africa where my grandmother is singing in the river? I will say a command. Is that all you, Africa, with all those children that are in bondage, that are doomed to slavery? All of a sudden, a voice responded back to me. "You, son of Africa, look, this big tree there, this tree that is growing, that's your Africa, but yet it's bearing fruit that have this bittersweet flavor of freedom." But that's a little bit of English translation, but the original French will say, "Afrique, Afrique, mon Afrique. Afrique des fiers guerriers dans les savanes ancestrales. Afrique que chante ma grand-mère au bord de son fleuve lointain. Je ne t'ai jamais connu, mais mon regard est plein de ton sang, le sang de ta sueur, la sueur de ton travail, le travail de l'esclavage de tes enfants. Afrique, dis-moi Afrique, est-ce ton toi ce dos qui se couche et se penche sous le poids de l'humidité? Ce dos à zèbre rouge qui dit oui sous le fouet du midi? Alors gravement, une voix me répondit. Fils intuitueux, cet arbre robuste et jeune, cet arbre là-bas, c'est ton Afrique qui repousse et repousse, et dont les fruits ont la bien saveur de la liberté. David Diop.
Wow. Will there be others? One?
Why are you looking at me?
My eyes just don't sit there.
Oh, okay.
You're my first person to see what I'm looking for.
You want me to go after the Frenchman?
No, this is my cake talking.
He made me want to buy it.
Okay, well, are we good? Okay.
We good.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. I made a lot of different announcements, but I just want to say one last one. Go to triag.org. Triag.org. TRIAAC.org. And see what we have happening. Come and get involved. Help us stay a community. Everybody. Thanks. All right.
Okay.